Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children. In last session, we have discussed how to install Python and what are the different modes that you can work in Python. Today in this session, we are going to discuss Python Fundamentals chapter. Before stepping into source code of your program, first let us understand what are the basic elements that a Python program can contain. In this chapter, we are going to discuss what is the need for the fundamentals, what is a character set, tokens, bare bones of a Python program, variables and assignments, and how to give simple input and output operations. A program that is a Python is a high level interpreter and a general purpose dynamic programming language that it focuses on the code readability. The syntax helps the Python programmers to do the coding in fewer steps as compared to the Java or C++. So first we'll learn what are the basic elements of your Python programming. First, let us understand what is a character set. Character set is a set of valid characters that is recognized by the Python. So a character represents of any letter, a digit or a symbol. Even the characters can be ASCII character set in your Python, or it can be a Unicode encoding standard characters also. So every component of a Python program is created using the character set. It may be a statement or an expression or any components of your Python programming. So these are some of the character sets that we are going to use. The characters may be A to Z, it may be small a to Z or capital A to Z. It may contain 0 to 9 or it may contain some special symbols like space, plus, minus, division, opening, closing parenthesis, square brackets, not equal to, dollar symbol, hashtag, and symbol. Any special characters can be used. Same way, white spaces, blank spaces, horizontal tab, vertical tab, carriage written, all these characters can also be used in your coding. Other than that, we can use ASCII coding characters, that is 256 characters can be used, and Unicode characters also can be used in your Python. The next comes with your token. Token, which is nothing but an individual unit that are identified by a programming language is called as a tokens or a lexical unit. Even in a passage of text, each individual words or the punctuation marks that we refer as a tokens or a lexical unit. The same way, in your programming language also, we refer the individual units of elements in your coding. We call it as a tokens or lexical units. There are different types of lexical units. The first one is your keyword. Keywords which are nothing but reserved words. It will be used for that generic purpose. Identifiers or the names given to a variable. Literals which are nothing but constants. Operators that you use to give an expression. And we have some punctuators which we will be using for a like opening and closing parentheses. Such type of punctuators will be used. So all these comprises will form to a lexical, that is each and every individual unit in your coding, we call it as a token. So all these things are called as your tokens. So let us take an example here. Name equal to Ananya. Here name is called as an identifier where we have stored a variable called as a string. Age is also an identifier. We stored a literal value as 15. Contribution is again an identifier where we stored a float value. Print is a keyword, and here we have used some special symbols like comma, double quotes, and opening and closing parentheses. All these things we have used. So all these each and every unit in your program, we call it as a lexical unit or a tokens. Next comes with your keyword or reserved words. Keywords are the words that convey a special meaning to the language, that is to your compiler or interpreter. It may be any language. The keywords or the words that contains a special meaning. No keyword cannot be used as an identifier. So keyword cannot be used to give a name for an identifier. It has some special meaning. So examples of keywords are, these are some of the keywords that we have: and, break, continue, del, else, exe, for, assert, class, def, elif, except, finally, from, and many more keywords that we have: global, import, is, not. Like that, we have many keywords in your Python language which your compiler or interpreter is being used. These words cannot be used as an identifier. So what is an identifier? An identifier is a name given to a function, class, variable, module, or other objects that you will be using in Python programming. So an identifier, which is a nothing but a name, that name can be given to a function or a class or a variable or a module or any object that you use to refer. A name appeared in a program. That is, whatever the name that appears in a program, we call it as an identifier. That name can be given to function, class, variable, module, or other objects. For example, A, B, C are the names given, and these are treated as your identifiers, and moreover, these individual units are also taken as a tokens. So, to give a name to a variable, to name a game to a class or to some other object in the sense, we have to follow some rules. That is, Python naming conventions or identifier formation rules we have to follow. An identifier is an arbitrary sequence of letters and digits. That is, it may contain letters as well as digits as a name. First character must be a letter, or it may contain an underscore. Even underscore is counted as a letter. Uppercase and lowercase characters are different. It can contain digits 0 to 9 as a part of identifier, except the first character should not be a digit. It can be an underscore or it can be a letter, but it cannot be a digit. Python is case sensitive, which means that it treats both uppercase characters and lowercase characters differently. It will not be same. An identifier must not be a keyword. A keyword which are nothing but it contains a special meaning. Those keywords cannot be used for naming a variable, or it cannot be used for an identifier. An identifier cannot contain any special characters. So, in naming a variable or naming a function in the sense, that name should not contain any special characters except the underscore symbol. Let us see some of the valid and invalid identifiers. So, valid identifiers are my file 1. So, in this name, we have 1 at the end of the identifier. So, this is a valid identifier. In the second example, we have underscores, characters, that is alphabets we have, and digits also we have, but not in the beginning, after your character starts. So, it is also a valid identifier. My file, it contains your characters, that is alphabets, so it is also a valid. Underscore ds, which means that the first character of your name can be underscore. So, it is also a valid identifier. File 13, so we have 1, 3. The digits are the after your character, so you can call it as a valid identifier. Z2, Z9, right? Even this is treated as a valid characters, valid identifiers. This is also treated as valid identifiers. See, well, let us see what are the invalid identifiers. My hyphen rec. Hyphen cannot be used. Hyphen is a special character. So this identifier is an invalid identifier. Here in the second case, 2HClCt, that is first character always should be a character, that is character, or it may be an underscore. Here we start with a digit, so it is an invalid identifier. Break is a keyword, you cannot use it for an identifier name. My dot file, dot is also considered as a special character, so you cannot use it in a naming a variable. Elif is also a keyword, false is also a keyword, del is also a keyword. So all these things, keywords cannot be used for naming a variable. Thank you, children. To receive our online lessons, please press subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates.